Dear students, welcome to KPBSC online class English version. How are you? Hope all of you are fine. This is Irene Parvin. You already know that I will be taking your chemistry first paper class. Today I would like to discuss about number 1, scattering of alpha particle. Scattering of alpha particle on gold foil. Number 2, Rutherford's atomic model and limitation of Rutherford's model At first, I want to discuss about scattering of alpha particle. This is an experiment. This experiment was performed by scientist Rutherford in 1911. Before conducting this experiment, you have to know what is alpha particle. Alpha particle is helium nucleus. And its symbol is helium 2 plus. If two electrons, look at the symbol please, if two electrons are removed from an helium atom, then we get helium nucleus, and this helium nucleus is called alpha particles. Alpha particles has two positively proton and enormous speed. To perform this experiment, Rutherford took a gold foil whose depth is 4 into 10 to the power minus 4 centimeter. That is very thin, and behind this is a gold foil. Rutherford put a zinc sulfide screen. Look at the figure please. For our convenience, we take an atom of gold foil, and behind this here is a zinc sulfide screen, and this is the nucleus of the atom, and these are the alpha particles. From this experiment, Rutherford observed that most of the alpha particles can easily pass through the gold foil. Look at the figure please. These alpha rays can easily pass through the gold foil and stuck the zinc sulfide screen. This zinc sulfide screen absorbed the energy which is emitted by the alpha rays and release this energy in the form of light. And secondly, he observed that some alpha rays go along near the nucleus, so they are partially deflected and by forming some angles. Here look, these rays goes along near the nucleus and it gets partially deflected by forming some angle. And thirdly, he observed that very few, there's 1 in 20,000 were turned back on their original path. Here this ray goes directly to the nucleus, and so it gets deflected completely. From this observation, Rutherford concluded that there is a nucleus in the center where all mass and positive charge are concentrated, and this positively charged nucleus repels the positively charged alpha particles. You know alpha particles is positively charged. So positively charged nucleus repels positively charged alpha particles. Thus some alpha rays deflected partially or completely, and except nucleus, most of the part of the atom is empty. That's why all maximum alpha rays, almost 99% alpha rays can pass easily through the gold foil and struck the zinc sulfide screen. And this nucleus, the area of the nucleus is very small. The diameter of an atom is 10 to the power minus 10 meter, whereas the diameter of nucleus is 10 to the power minus 14 meter or 10 to the power minus 15 meter. That means atom is 10,000 to 1 lakh times greater than the nucleus. That's why most of the space of an atom is empty, and maximum rays, alpha rays, can pass easily through the gold foil. Now, on the basis of our previous experiment, Rutherford proposed an atomic model in 1911, which was like the solar system. That's why this model is also called solar system atomic model. The major propositions of this model are: number 1, atoms are very small. Atoms are very small, and it has two parts: center or nucleus, or outer space. And number 2, there is a massive particles in the center. Massive particle in the center, and this is positively charged, and this particle is called nucleus. This is positively charged, and this is called nucleus. And number 3, almost entire mass of the atom is concentrated in the nucleus. Entire mass concentrated in the nucleus. That means the mass of the nucleus is equal to the whole mass of an atom. Mass of nucleus equal to whole mass of an atom. And number 4, there are some negatively charged particles which moves around the nucleus. Some negatively charged particles which moves around the nucleus, just like this. This is nucleus, and some negatively charged particles which move around the nucleus, and these negatively charged now these negatively charged particles which moved around the nucleus are called electrons. And number 5, the charge of the negative charge of the electrons and the positive charge of the electrons are equal, and that's why sorry, I made a mistake, I repeat it again. The negative charge, total negative charge of electrons and the total positive charge of nucleus are equal, and that's why these opposite charges minimize each other and atoms are electrically neutral. Atoms are electrically neutral. Because total positive charge of nucleus equal to total negative charge of electrons. And number 6, two forces act on moving electrons. Two force acts on moving electrons. These two force are electrostatic force and centrifugal force. This electrostatic force is created due to the attraction between negative charge electron and positive charge nucleus, and this force acts inwards, and this centrifugal force is created due to the motion of electrons, and this force acts outwards. That's why electrons cannot go outwards or inwards to the nucleus. They actually stay right on the orbit, because the numerical value of these two forces are equal and opposite. That's why this force is inward and this force is outward. So they act on opposite direction, but their numerical value is equal. That's why electrons cannot go outwards or inwards to the nucleus, and they actually stay right on the orbits. Though Rutherford is the first scientist who gave the idea about the nucleus and orbits, and his model is the first acceptable model, still there was some limitations. Now I want to discuss about limitations of Rutherford's model. The first limitations of Rutherford's model is he compared his model to the solar system. But planets are electrically neutral and only gravitational force acts among them. On the other hand, electrons are negatively charged particles and nucleus are positively charged. So, a comparison between some charged neutral elements and charged elements is not quite correct. And another limitations is, according to Maxwell theory, moving charged electrons are supposed to exit energy continuously, and thus by losing electron energy, electrons ultimately fall to the nucleus, and thus the Rutherford atomic model becomes meaningless. Look at the figure, please. According to Maxwell theory, any charged particle emit energy continuously. Look at the figure, please. According to Maxwell theory, electron is a charged particle and it emits energy continuously, and ultimately it's supposed to fall to the nucleus. That's why Rutherford's atomic model is meaningless. And another limitation is Rutherford didn't give any idea about the shape and size of the orbital, and this model does not mention how electrons are moved around the nucleus of an atom which have large number of electrons. These are the main limitations of Rutherford's atomic model. That's all for today. Hope this class is helpful for you. Thank you for watching the video. Take care. Bye.